I think that it's very important that research informs the teaching of faculty, because it's extremely important to be current in the field, and that this brings passion into the classroom as well as current information. So as provost, I think it's also important that I keep current in what's going on, that I know what faculty are going through when they conduct research, how much time it takes, the problems and difficulty of receiving outside funding if that's what's needed in your field in order to do research, the difficulty in dealing these days with university presses and journals, which are under extreme budgetary pressure themselves, so it's harder to get published. By remaining active as a researcher myself, and I did have a book come out last year, which is featured at this event with all the faculty. I think that's extremely important so that I understand what faculty are doing, and that they can see that not only is it important to me, but I'm actively engaged myself as a faculty member as well as administrator.
The university has been a significant helper with respect to my research. They have done really admirable work. In fact, I came here a year and a half ago and I was concerned because I came from a Research One university where research really was the center of everything. This is not a Research One university. This is more of a teaching institution that does research. So I was kind of concerned. I mean, I've been extremely impressed by the degree to which senior administrators in this campus, from deans all the way up to provosts and presidents, really do put a lot of time and energy into helping faculty achieve their research goals.
We have a special role, and you know what? This may be the ideal role that no one really gets, and that is the integration of the teacher with the scholar, the teacher-scholar model. Admittedly, it's a hard thing to achieve, but what I would like to see at this university is a real understanding that teaching informs research and research informs teaching.
I think doing research helps me be a better teacher because I can teach my students about things like evidence-based practice. I can teach my students more effectively about research methods and design and methodology.
Research is very important for our department, and especially for my subject areas, because we have to keep up to date with what's going on in the business. So of course the hospitality industry and the tourism industry are changing all the time. So it's not just enough to teach from a textbook.
Research constantly informs my teaching. I have been involved in collecting interviews with 1.5 second generation Korean Americans who are children of Korean immigrants. And that's been this amazing research project that I've brought to my course that I teach in Asian American Studies. I've also been involved in following diverse breast cancer survivors here in the Bay Area, and that informs my teaching in terms of Asian American community health, but also in terms of just teaching research methodology and writing to my students.
So my biggest challenge in research is trying to find enough time to do everything that I want to do. So I love teaching. That's why I love being at San Francisco State, and trying to balance teaching with doing research in my lab and mentoring the right number of students in my lab. That's what I find is challenging, is finding that balance where I can do the teaching at the level I want, but also do the research at the level that I want.
Folks are constantly trying to ask the question, if I give up this class in order to do research, what am I giving up? And when I give up research in order to do this class, what am I giving up? Everyone really cares about their scholarship and their reputation and changing the world. And unfortunately, they're having to make decisions between changing just a few people versus making an impact well beyond the campus.
It is difficult to have enough time to talk about research. We're not exchanging information as much, and that makes it difficult to not really have anyone to talk to about and to be able to process the research that you're doing.
So I feel that right now we're at an excellent place in time where some of the work that I've always had a passion for now is validated as being research. So that are the community-based participatory efforts that before maybe would have been seen as a community service. Not only are you being of service, but you're also bringing in scientific knowledge and changing and impacting not only this campus, but writing about it, publishing on it, so that that aspect of community-based research, it's not a challenge, but it's a favor. Right now, it's a very good time to do the type of work that is relevant and meaningful in the community.
I was just in Denver and I heard Robert Gates say, the discoveries of today in today's laboratory inform the teaching of tomorrow. So that is the kind of direction I'd like to see this university move in, a real, true hybrid integration of those terribly important roles that the CSU is at the perfect nexus of.